Odesa have come under massive Russian drone attacks.
The ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine has once again escalated, with recent airstrikes targeting Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, and the southern port city of Odesa. These attacks have resulted in civilian casualties, infrastructure damage, and further instability in the region. As global leaders condemn the violence, the world watches in horror as innocent lives are lost and cities are reduced to rubble. This article examines the latest Russian strikes, their impact on Ukrainian civilians, the international response, and what this means for the future of the war. We also urge readers to stay informed by subscribing to reliable news sources for real-time updates on this devastating conflict. In the early hours of 9th June, Russian forces launched a series of missile and drone attacks on Kyiv, Ukraine's capital. Air raid sirens blared as residents scrambled for shelter, and explosions rocked the city. Ukrainian air defenses managed to intercept some of the incoming missiles, but several still struck residential areas, causing fires and destruction. While Kyiv has faced numerous attacks since the beginning of the war, this latest assault underscores Russia's continued strategy of targeting civilian infrastructure to weaken Ukrainian morale. Fortunately, no fatalities were reported in Kyiv this time, but the psychological toll on its citizens remains immense. The southern city of Odesa was not as fortunate. A Russian missile strike hit a residential building, killing at least 2 people and injuring several others. Rescue teams worked tirelessly to pull survivors from the rubble, while locals mourned the loss of their neighbors. Odesa, a key port city, has been a frequent target due to its strategic importance for Ukraine's economy and military supply line. The attack further highlights Russia's disregard for civilian lives and its determination to cripple Ukraine's ability to resist. Every missile strike brings not only physical destruction, but also immeasurable suffering to Ukrainian families. Survivors of these attacks are left homeless, traumatized, and uncertain about their future. Children are forced to seek refuge in bomb shelters instead of attending school, while elderly civilians struggle to access medical care amid the chaos. The 2 lives lost in Odesa are a tragic reminder of the war's brutality. Behind every casualty statistic is a person, a parent, a child, a friend, whose life has been cut short by senseless violence. Beyond the immediate loss of life, these strikes damage critical infrastructure, including power plants, leading to blackouts and energy shortages, water supplies, cutting off access to clean drinking water, transport networks, disrupting aid deliveries and evacuation routes. The long-term consequences of such destruction will hinder Ukraine's recovery for years to come, even if the war were to end today. Key reactions include: the UN has repeatedly called for an immediate ceasefire and condemned attacks on civilians as violations of international law. However, with Russia holding veto power in the Security Council, decisive action remains stalled. The EU and UK have pledged continued military and humanitarian support for Ukraine. Sanctions against Russia remain in place, though their effectiveness is debated. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has vowed to strengthen Ukraine's air defenses and retaliate against Russian aggression. He continues to appeal for more advanced weaponry from Western allies. The Kremlin claims its strikes target military facilities, despite overwhelming evidence of civilian casualty. State media portrays the attacks as necessary to denazify Ukraine, a baseless narrative used to justify invasion. As the war drags on, several scenarios could unfold. Escalation: Russia may intensify attacks if it faces further battlefield loss. Stalemate: the conflict could become a prolonged war of attrition, with no clear winner. Diplomatic breakthrough: peace talks remain unlikely but not impossible if global pressure mounts. One thing is certain: Ukraine needs sustained international support to survive. The Russian strikes on Kyiv and Odesa are a grim reminder that this war is far from over. Innocent lives are being lost, cities are being destroyed, and the world must not look away. While Ukraine fights for its survival, the international community must continue offering support, whether through aid, sanctions, or advocacy. Now more than ever, staying informed is crucial. Subscribe today to ensure you receive accurate, timely information about Ukraine and other global events. Together, we can stand with Ukraine and demand an end to this senseless war.